Horizontal regression analysis has actually been around, I think, since last year, maybe late 2025. Okay. And we'll just call it HRA going forward. What this does is it allows you to show you a complete window into your alignments. It helps you create a more realistic alignment from survey data that is best fit, but better. Okay. HRA is contained in a floating vista, much like your panorama, and it can be moved to a different monitor. Okay. And any revisions or updates are going to be updated in real time. Okay. Just like Sybil. So what I've got here is I've got this open drawing file. And what I've done is I've basically gone ahead and isolated in a point group the center line of my roadway up here. Okay. And on the home tab, the alignment command, we can see right here is horizontal regression analysis. If we run the command, okay, we get the creation settings. So now what it does is it gives us options regarding what we want, how we want to use it. We can set the alignment settings, right? So with that, I can use COGO points. I can use feature lines. I can use 2D polys or 3D polys, right? In this case, we're going to use COGO points. However, if you look, excuse me, you can see that there are actually two paths that can be available and used for us. Excuse me, just real quick. Thank you. Okay. What this would allow us to do is we could give it two sets of COGO points. For example, a left and a right-of-way line. Maybe the crew didn't shoot the center line, right? But they made and shot the points for the right-of-ways. What you could do is you could utilize those two sets of points, okay? And then the software would literally create a center line based on the locations on each side. That part to me is pretty impressive. Okay. So when you open this up for the first time, it might be huge. It is resizable. Like I said, you can move it. I do have COGO points and I want to select them. I only have one path. And you can utilize a window, a crossing, it does not matter. It's going to go ahead and recognize the COGO points and not any other type of entity. And we'll click OK. And there are 26 objects selected. This will be Mission Avenue. It is going to be a center line. We do not want it on a site in this case. Design speed, fine, but not necessary. Let's actually give it some labels. So the styles that we have in our drawing file are applicable here. So we can give it major and minor geometry points. It'll work just fine. And what's the style? We'll stick with that. What layer do we want it on? Again, all the layers within the drawing are available to us. The station direction, positive. Yeah, sure. Negative. Do we want it in the positive direction or the negative direction? We'll take a look and see what we get. Okay, so we'll say okay. And it's going to go through and it's going to show you the dashboard of what we have. Okay. Now with this, we can take a look, and I'm just going to drag this over. We should be able to see. Okay. There's our alignment. Okay. And if you'll notice, it used the points, but it put it in the best fit type situation based on the information that we gave it. Now, if we move this over, right, we can actually see in this case any of the arcs, spirals, tangents. Okay. Probably don't need any spirals. So what we can do is we can move the spiral sensitivity down. Okay. And we can tell it, we can denoise the data, which means we can limit the amount of points it's utilizing in memory to create that alignment. And we can also tell it we want a maximum arc radius of, I don't know what we could do to make this work here without creating an issue, but we can do that. And then we can go ahead and confirm. Okay, so there's our alignment. It's going to show up in our prospector, just as it would if we created it on the fly or from objects. Okay. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay.